Well, we want to welcome you to another episode of Curiosity, Not Judgment. My name is Birga,
And I'm Gary.
and Gary is in an airport, so we're going to make this a shorter episode today as he's transitioning between flights, but wanted to talk a little bit about smart devices in your home and some curious questions you need to ask as you go through the process of upgrading to smart devices and what that means for you in the event that you have a power outage, if you have disconnection with your internet or your Wi-Fi, and just some of those things to think through as you're making some purchasing decisions.
Our houses have the potential now of being smarter than we are.
Mm-hmm.
And you have smart devices such as cameras and doorbells, of course. But now you have smart refrigerators and Roombas and washers and dryers and lots of lights. And so, what do you do if the power's out? What do you do if your Wi-Fi is down, your home Wi-Fi or your Wi-Fi from your cable company or your provider? And what do you do if you're kicked out of your account?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Well, so let's start with asking some questions about what do I need to have be a smart device in my house, and the factors of help versus hinder in the grand scheme of things. You mentioned the doorbell cameras. That's become quite popular all across the country. Folks like that for security measures. They like it for if you're expecting packages to be delivered. So certainly that has the capability of recording activity in your neighborhood, capturing crime if there's, package theft, capturing who's approaching your property, some very positive elements, but it's also a big disruptor. If you need to monitor lifetime and it's showing up on your phone in the middle of a meeting, showing up in the dead of the night when a raccoon or a cat jumps on your front porch, it has the potential to be not so smart at those times.
Well, not so smart. It could be distracting.
Yes.
It could be a real threat. And I can arm and disarm my house with my Ring alarm system now too. And and I sometimes get messages, "Hey, your door cam lost Wi-Fi," so
Mm.
that means I don't have it. Sometimes I forget my thermostat to turn it down or up, depending on the season when I leave on a trip. I can do that from my phone. So, like you said, what do you do for your backup plans if those things don't work? We talked about lights. Turning lights off and on is a big deal. I mean, it's an easy thing to do, and sometimes it's very convenient, and sometimes it's great when you're on a trip and you can just log in and or say, "Hey Siri, turn on the kitchen lights, turn off the dining room lights." But if you're using smart light bulbs and you lose your Wi-Fi, you don't have lights
Yeah.
if they're in the opposition, and you lose your account or lose Wi-Fi.
Do you think we're going to get to a point in the near future where you're not going to have the option to buy kind of dummy devices where it's not internet connected? Like, can I go? I've not gone or appliance shopping in quite some time, but can I roll up to an appliance store and buy a dryer or a washing machine that is not Wi-Fi enabled?
I don't know that you can. However, you cannot hook it up to your Wi-Fi
Okay,
if you choose not to, right? So I think you can still use it manually, and it still has buttons, right? Light bulbs don't.
true.
And so, to your point about what's your backup plan, you can still operate your washing machine even if it's not hooked up to your Wi-Fi. Garage door deliveries from Amazon is not an option. If you lose your account, you won't be able to use your phone to open and close your garage door. You have to go back to your and find your manual clicker, we used to
Mm,
call it, right?
yep. Well, yeah, assuming you're inside and it's going to work from the position where you're sitting. But yes, that all that aside, well, so I think we do need to take a little bit of an inventory about how smart do we want our houses to be. And in the event that we do have those power outages or internet lossage, which is a very real potential in this day and age, what happens if your appliances, your communication, your heating, your cooling don't function in those circumstances? And are you okay without it for a season? Because sometimes it could be a health risk depending on where you live, the climate in which you find yourself, and even medical devices that are internet dependent or Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connected, like hearing aids or insulin pumps, things of that nature.
And we also have to think about not only what happens if you can't do your insulin pump by your phone or your hearing aids, if you have severe enough hearing loss. But we also have to think about cyber.
Mhm.
So is it okay if somebody else controls those things? Is it okay if somebody gets control of those things? And if the answer to that is no, what are we doing about it? I've not seen really good protocols
Mm.
on your Wi-Fi enabled printer and washing machine and refrigerator. So, is that an entry of a cyber hack?
Mm. Well, I think maybe these are some questions that we need to ask as we go shopping, certainly, as you're upgrading appliances and different items in your house to begin to really contemplate the security measure about, is this a doorway in for a potential cyber attack? Not to make people overly afraid or overly, paranoid to go shopping, but I think we do need to be smart about those smart devices.
And it's not like we live in a more dangerous world. I mean, you used to be able to, there's people that could go around and figure out your garage code or your clicker
Yeah.
frequency. And so it may not be easier, but I do use my cell phone to open and close my garage door. And so if I can do it, that means potentially somebody else can do it. I've got a smart lock on my front door, et cetera. So I think these are wise questions to ask. How smart do I want my house to be? And am I concerned about somebody being able to operate without my permission?
Yeah.
And what do I do if I've got a Wi-Fi or a power outage? Do I have a backup plan?
Yeah. I think three very good, curious questions to ask as you're doing those upgrades. All right, I know you've got another flight to catch, so we'll let you go. Short and sweet this one, but we'll catch up next week. And so happy travels, and we'll see you soon.
Take care.
All right. And for those of you that have a little time to hang out, please do check out the website curiositynotjudgment.com. Leave us some comments. Have you had experiences with problems with smart devices, or what are you thinking in regards to upgrading appliances and other gadgets that may soon outsmart all of us? So let us know what your thoughts are. Your comments are always welcome, and we'll catch up with you next time.